I'm live because I missed you guys too. Hi, you guys. Hi, Leon and Shirk and Kat and Lilith and Rain and everybody and workers and everybody else. Hi. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. I've missed you guys too. It's been a whirlwind. I've been in the ER multiple times, hospitalized. I had a procedure, an emergency like surgery thing, and don't worry. And no, Kat, I would not have a doctor's note. They would not let me be doing this right now. But I wanted to test to see how long I could sit in my gaming chair before my birthday. Because it's my birthday in 2 days, and I want to stream on my birthday, but I don't know how long I'll be able to game for, so this is a limit test. So there's new redeems to check in on me. They're like pain tolerance, pain level, um, making me take a break, and then making me sip some water. Take a break. Okay, well, we were already taking a break. We're already just talking. We're already. No, my stomach. We're already just talking. Advanced break, pain level, an 8. It's really bad right now. As soon as I started streaming, I was like, I've. Oh, wait, the mid thing to go off. Dang nabbit. Okay, we'll make that. We'll make that go off. Okay, so story time. Story time. Sorry that it didn't alert, but that's a really cute emote. And thanks for the 100 thing. And what the heck? Yeah. I'm on some pretty heavy duty stuff too. Fair warning. Um, yeah. So I woke up last week sometime. I don't know what day. Good luck. Well, good luck me knowing the day. And I was in so much pain I couldn't move, like at all. I couldn't move. Like my stomach was hurting so bad. Like my whole um like right underneath like your ribs and stuff. It was just so much pain. Like crazy, crazy pain. And so I tried to call Kaz. So Mr. Foxkit, he's obviously at work. It's 2 a.m. He's not picking up. So then I go through their whole company's forum page thingy to try to find any number I recognize, like any name of a person he's talked about. And I'm like, okay, I've heard this name before. So I try to call them. Nobody picks up, obviously. It's 2 a.m. They're like, who's calling our office at 2 a.m.? Nobody. So they don't pick up. Then I start calling a different number. They pick up. And I'm like, hi, it's Kit. Could you please tell Mr. Foxkit I need to go to the ER, thanks? And he's like, yeah. I said, okay, thanks, bye. And then I hung up, and then I just laid very still. And then he called me, and he's like, "Are you okay? Do we have to? Am I coming home and getting you to the ER?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not okay. Not okay. I can barely move. Uh, the worst pain I've ever been in. I've had a lot of serious accidents. Okay, you guys know a small chunk of what I've been through, but I've been through a lot worse than the things I've brought up before. And this was the worst pain I'd ever been in. Ever. It was brutal. Breathing really hurt. Breathing still kind of hurts a bit. Um, I could only take really shallow breaths and move very, very little. Like I tried not to move at all. Very shallow breathing. Didn't want to talk, so I texted him all of my symptoms, like everything, making sure he knew it's the worst pain I've ever been in. Um, and now there's an ad break. Good luck, you guys. I'm sorry. Um, so that's really funny timing. I love Twitch so much sometimes. Oh, I shouldn't laugh. Um, yeah, yeah. So then, he comes and gets me. We drive an hour to the ER. We get into the ER. Within 10 minutes of me getting into the ER, they had me hooked up to an IV and a bunch of stuff getting pushed into me. Like a bunch of stuff. Stuff I don't even know the name of a bunch of stuff. a bunch of stuff. Just everything under the sun of painkiller realms. Um, and then they did a lot of tests, and the first doctor was amazing, and he was super sweet, and he wasn't gonna press on my stomach, and he was great, and he was giving me pain meds and all this stuff, and we started doing tests, and then night shift turned to day shift, and the daytime doctor instantly took me off all the meds. He instantly, everything the night shift doctor had done, undid. He got there, and he was like, "We're gonna stop everything you're on," and we're like, "Oh, okay." So instant pain level back up to really, really bad. Then the nurse comes in, and she pulls on my IV, like in my arm, like upwards, and I shriek. And then she does it. I like try to stay still because I'm trying not to move, and now all the pain meds have stopped. And then she does it again, and I pull my arm upwards towards her, and I just like start sobbing. But now my arm is like as close to her arm as possible. And I'm sobbing. I'm in so much pain, and I have now moved. I have now shifted as much as I can towards Mr. Foxgate in the OR bed, in the ER bed or whatever. And I am sobbing. I am bawling. And she says, "I didn't do anything to you, hun." And I am sobbing. And I like suffer out being like, "You pulled on my IV." And she's like, "No, I didn't touch you. Some people are just a little more sensitive than others." And Mr. Foxkit looks at her and he says, "I saw you pull on her IV out of her arm twice, like you yank on it." And she's like, "No, no, I didn't do that. I wouldn't have done that." And I'm still like I'm covering my mouth to try to stop crying because crying hurts so much. Crying hurts because then you're breathing heavier. Um, Laughing hurt, like anything hurts. So I'm like covering my mouth and I'm like pleading with myself to stop crying. But I was already in such intense pain because they stopped the pain meds. And then she pulled on the IV twice. And then she's like, "Maybe it's the arm cuff being on the same arm as your IV. You know, some people have a real sensitivity to that." And as I'm crying, I'm like, "It's a non issue. The nurse before you and the doctor before you for the 3 hours of night shift had no problems." And she, yeah, she, she didn't, ever say sorry. And, she's just like, "Well, some people are just more sensitive than others." That's what she told me. So that was fun. It was not fun. I was still crying. And then she left, and the doctor came back in, and he did the thing where he was kind of already done with us. Like, we had only gotten blood draws at this point. We hadn't gotten to any scans yet. We haven't done anything. And he comes in just the doorway. And he does the half talking to you, half not talking to you while still walking away. So he looks, he sees me crying, and he says something to Mr. Foxkid about, like, "We're just gonna keep monitoring you. Um, like, we're just gonna see how you're doing off all of the meds." And I'm like, "What? I've now been here 3 hours, and we haven't gone to any other tests other than the blood draw," which of course they did in the room. And so the lady comes back in and basically just checks that the fluids are still going in or whatever. So that was great. That was fun. That was fantastic. Um, 7 a.m. rolls around. Now I called Mr. Foxy at like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. So 7 a.m. rolls around. I've been laying in pain, not being able to talk, not being able to like breathe at all for 6 hours, 5 to 6 hours. Can we burn our house down? Probably not, but maybe in Minecraft. Maybe if we can find her in Minecraft. Who am I kidding? She doesn't game. Yeah, yeah. So then this doctor comes in And as I'm laying there in pain, she goes, I just walked through the door 5 minutes ago. You're the first person I'm seeing. I have no idea why we weren't called in sooner. We have to go and get you to a bunch of tests right away. Um, and then I said, she's like, I don't know why they stopped. Um, I don't know why they stopped your meds. I am so sorry. We're gonna get you on, and then she names some narcotic I've never heard of, and she goes, "Have you heard of that?" And I'm like, "No." And she goes, "It's one of the new ones. Like it's really good." And she's like, "And we're gonna give you that every 2 hours, and every hour, every 3 hours, we're gonna give you a Vicodin, and we don't even expect this to take away your pain. We just expect this to like cut the edge off of your pain, like take the slight edge off." And I'm like, "Okay." Like great, and I just started like crying, like just the slow tears falling down my face as I'm like, thank goodness something's happening. Like as she's talking, I'm like, something's gonna change, something's gonna happen. Yeah, sadly this is the way I'm treated at most any ER or hospital I've ever been in. um Usually I'm treated like that, and unless Mr. Foxkid is there, otherwise I usually get um talked down to, kind of like I'm five, and then my pain isn't really real to them. Like, I told one of them I was a 9 in pain, and she goes, You'd be screaming. But that's the second day. That's after the procedure. And they asked me how my pain was, and I said a 9, and she goes, You'd be screaming. And I'm thinking, You don't know how I handle pain? I like grimace, and I stay very, very quiet. She's like, No, you'd be screaming. Anyways. So I go and I get an MRI. And then they come in and they're like, okay, we're instantly going to put you under. We're going to do a procedure. And if we see what we think we're going to see, we're moving you to the right because I was sitting next to another table, to the right because there was a second table. And we're going to instantly perform surgery. And I'm like, okay. And now it's like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. So between an hour of her getting there, and she was like, I don't know why we just now got involved. I don't know why we weren't told about this. So within an hour of her being there and getting stuff moving, I was already going to be under anesthesia and stuff. Um, so they go in, they take a biopsy and they didn't tell us. They didn't instantly do surgery, which was good. Then, um, after the procedure, Mr. Foxhead is like, "So are we? Like, are we good? Is she okay? Are you gonna send her home with pain meds? What should we watch out for to see if she gets worse?" And the doctor's answering all this stuff, and then he realizes that Mr. Foxkit and I both think that this is a day in, day out thing. And the doctor realization hits him and looks absolutely shocked at Mr. Foxkit and goes, She's not going anywhere. She's going to be hospitalized for a while. And what was I going to play about the two malpracticing employees? I think he was more concerned about me dying than people being crummy in the moment. He was more concerned about fighting for us to get help for me laying there in pain um than whether or not I was treated a-okay. So the doctor's like, she's not going anywhere. We're moving her upstairs. She's no. So they moved me upstairs. Oh. Oh. Well, before that, I'm coming off the anesthesia. And the nurse leans down because I'm talking really quiet because I'm in a lot of pain. And the nurse leans down and she goes, How are you feeling? And I said, Funny. And she goes, Oh. And I said, No, like I'm a comedic. And I just start laughing and I'm like, I'm really funny. And I said, I'm a comedy act. And I was just laughing so hard. And Mr. Fox gets upset because I was talking so softly because of how much pain I was in. I made her lean really close for me to tell her I was hilarious and a comedy act. And then a few minutes goes by, and I'm laughing. I'm thinking everything's great. I'm laughing. Everything's great. Like a few minutes go by, and I go, I'm no longer funny. And I started crying, and I was like, I don't like it here anymore. I'm like, the pain came back. I'm no longer comedic. And I just started, and she was like, oh, honey. Like, oh, sweetie. She's like, it's okay. I'm gonna go get the doctor. And then that's when the doctor entered. But yeah, it turned from me laughing about how hilarious I was, that I was the best thing ever in that moment, to this is no longer funny. And I'm in a lot of pain. And I don't know why I was laughing, because this sucks. So then the doctor comes in. So all that stuff is like you're getting hospitalized. At this point, doesn't tell us still that they took a biopsy. Doesn't tell us anything. Um, doesn't even tell us about the procedure. Doesn't say anything. And I take a sip. Okay, okay. But I have Gatorade because I'm not hydrated enough. Okay, Gatorade. Thanks for the sip. I cast your liver been stolen? Not yet. I hate doctors who don't tell you what's gonna happen. Um, yeah, I don't think they wanted to scare us more than the amount of pain and the scariness that was already going on. I think I'm going in it with that. But they really didn't want to make us scared because I was in so much pain.